Hello, YouTubers. Joe Kersey here on Guy Fawkes Day, November 5th, 2016. At 14:30 in the afternoon Eastern Time, or 13:30 in the afternoon Eastern Standard Time, which it is shortly to be, thank the good Lord. Well, I said to myself, what do I want to talk about today? What do I want to talk about today? And you know, you can only talk about some of the same things so often. And as luck would have it, something came in the mail today that gave me a perfect little thing I can carry on about. I have some money in mutual funds. I won't tell you the name of the one I'm actually going to be talking about because I don't want to be sued. But it's all true. As Donald Trump would say, it's all true, it's all true. I've got great things, very great things. But it's true, but nonetheless I won't tell you the name. But I will tell you the name of the other mutual fund I have money in. It's Vanguard. You know, I mean, it's like, you know, that's one of the biggest mutual funds in the country, you know. The great thing about it is it's low fees. I mean, it doesn't rape you on the fees. The one I'm with, well, the one this other money's in, I've always been very dissatisfied by what they charge. You know, but I've stayed with it out of loyalty to, well, the guy and his son, you know, the man who got me into it, and then his son who took over after his dad died. You know, I'm loyal to a fault, you know, up to a point. Inertia's good sometimes, and again, up to a point. More of that anon. But what they want to do is, this particular family of mutual funds wants to move all of my money, all the money in my various accounts into their brokerage account system, which charges moderately hefty fees on a regular basis. In addition to the funds actually having fairly high expense ratios by the standards of, well, you know, middle to high middle to high expenses as far as mutual funds are concerned. Now they want to start tacking on these brokerage fees. I mean, this is just, you know, another jobs for the boys' cash cow, as near as I can tell. So I decided it's time to pull the pin. Now I've got a couple of accounts that I can't pull out of there easily. One's an annuity. And I understand that's just the way that's going to be. I mean, that's fine. And one's a unit investment trust, which won't run out until it's either August or November of next year. So I've got to leave that in until it ends, and then I can take that money out. But the others, I've got, you know, a money market fund and a tax-exempt municipal bond fund in there, and I've got my profit-sharing money in my retirement plan in there. And those I can move out. I can take the profit-sharing money out, put it in an IRA with Vanguard, which I'm going to do on Monday. And then the other two accounts can just be liquidated, and then they can send me a check. There'll be a little tiny capital gains hit on that. But, I mean, it's not going to be big. I don't care, frankly. Man, this camera looks like it's tilted, but we'll find out. So, as one does, one writes a letter. Dear Mr. I received mutual funds letter today concerning accounts ending in /002 being transferred into the brokerage account system. I do not wish to continue with, if that is to be the case, at least not as far as my tax-exempt fund and my money market fund is concerned, nor for my profit-sharing plan, which I will move into Vanguard and establish it as a new IRA. I'll make an aside here. The reason I've not done this before is because an IRA, if you are sued in civil court, is subject to being confiscated to satisfy any judgment of the civil court. A profit-sharing plan can't be touched. That's why I've left it this way so long. Moving along. I shall be calling Vanguard on Monday to discuss transferring the approximately, and then I give the amount, in the profit sharing into one of their intermediate term bond funds. Currently, it's also in an intermediate term bond fund. A move that I've been contemplating for about the past 3 or 4 years anyway. I understand that my annuity and my UIT monies, Unit Investment Trust monies, are already in the brokerage system, or at least their account numbers end in, -133. Obviously, I will leave them there, or at least until the annuity money, or at least the annuity money. The UIT will liquidate when its term expires in late 2017. As for the money market fund and the tax-exempt fund, I would ask that you liquidate these and disperse the money to me by check. I understand that there'll be some tax consequences to that as far as capital gains involving the tax-exempt fund. I shall make arrangements with Vanguard about the profit-sharing money transferred to an IRA. I've been extremely happy with you as an advisor in these matters, but I've always had a very hard time stomaching the mutual fund expenses and brokerage fees, not to mention the census fees for maintaining the paperwork on the profit-sharing plan. I would have done this eventually. It appears the time to do this is now. I will add, and I believe I've said this to you before, I've remained with, out of loyalty to your dad and to you. The fees have always troubled me. Inertia is very powerful and often good up to a point. Sincerely, Joe S. Kersey. Now let me tell you the story about how I got with this guy. I may have told it before, but I'll tell it again. When I was practicing anesthesia, there was a patient, and as is often the case when you visit them, there's family clustered about in the room. This one fellow started asking me about what, did I have retirement funds and this, that, and the other, and this, that, and the other. And he gave me his card, and he said, I'm going to call you, and I'm going to come see you. I said, okay. Yeah. This guy was relentless. He called me. Well, it was easy enough because I had a way to screen my calls even then. Even back in 1983, I'd figured out how to kind of screen my calls. But he called several times. Let's put it that way. And then one night, and it was toward the end of November in 1982. I'd only been out here since January of 1982. Maybe it was 1983. It was 1983. I lied. 1983. I was out in the front field walking around with the dogs. You go out in the evening, after dark, and it was just Capricorn then. It wasn't, Pro wasn't around yet. Because he wasn't even born till October of 1984. And this car, this Lincoln town cars going up and down Powell Road. And he's got one of these spotlights like the cops have on their cars, you know. And he's scanning around and scanning around and scanning around. What he was looking for was a house number. And he finally came down the Worthington Road and then turned around and found my house number and then came up the driveway and knocked on the door. And by this time I had kind of figured out who it might be. And you know, and I'm glad he did. I'm frankly very glad he did, because otherwise I would have taken several years to set up retirement money. And so good for him. And because of the fact that it was good for him that, and good for me that he did that, I've stayed with this outfit, you know. I mean, his son is a wonderful guy, you know. I've had several long conversations with the man over the years. These were all first-class people. But the outfit they work for or with just charges too damn much money in fees. And, you know, I see the math. I do understand how to, you know, because of these fees, I've lost. I mean, my retirement account is probably between 25 and 30% smaller than it would have been had I not gone with them in the first place. But that's what loyalty gets you sometimes. But I still love the way this guy tracked me down with a cop spotlight on the side of his Lincoln, you know, scanning the front field. So we'll see how this plays out. Meanwhile, it's a wonderful day. So I'll say bye-bye, YouTubers.